Tetrahedron is a big boy, and he loves using that to his advantage, as well as using you to his advantage too. You see, naturally, this big boy can just do a little thing we common folk call flattening you. But obviously, a big boy like this big boy needs to keep up his mass and naturally has to eat whole loads in order to be in top person flattening physique. And in the Monster Hunter wiki, he stated to swallow whole everything that moves, gravel and all. And that's where my comment about how it uses you to its advantage comes back into play, because it needs to eat so much that you could bet you're going down the gullet too at some point. Dude stated to clash with Arzuros often, and if you think of it as like a physical clash together, I would think the encounter would go something like a body check, which just sends Arzuros to the Shadow Realm. But not really. Apparently Tetranodon just tries to eat him and fails, which in my head is very comical, and I can only really picture it as, cut this out! Wow, it's exceptionally cavernous in here.
I'm hungry.
For once, I think Capcom themselves are in the same boat as me when they don't really know what the hell this thing is, because it's apparently a sumo-like amphibian with a turtle shell and a platypus beak, and a head that is reminiscent of a dish called the mythological Kappa. I don't think I'm reading that right. Actually, never mind. Apparently, Pteranodon is entirely based off Kappa demons, so why didn't the wiki just say that from the start? Now I look like the idiot here because my sources are dum-dum. Kappa is a mythological amphibious yokai demon which have all the same descriptions as the big green beanbag over here, but are also depicted as being human-like with a bowl-like shape for their concave heads that are filled with water. They also have magical powers like healing. They're skilled in medicine and very wise due to the water in their heads. What are these things? So basically, Tetranodon is just a mythical beast set to Wumbo, and I just want to say that the duality of vibes each photo of these Kappa bastards has is either completely horrifying or absolutely hilarious. There's no in between. So now we know all about this Mesozoic meatball and why he is the way he is, but how did these perks and debuffs serve him on his quests? Well, this gluttonous glump sure doesn't hold back. If momentum is equal to mass times velocity, then this guy just needs to hitch a ride on Valstrax, and this hefty boy would reach Mach 1 and level the shrine ruins on impact with the ground, but instead he just jumps a few meters in the air and sits on you. I guess that works. It works if this round rascal wanted to be friggin' boring. He spends too much time trying to bap and spit on you, in my opinion, when he could do so much better if he focused on, like, closing the distance before treating you like a small dog you didn't notice was sleeping on the couch. This guy is apparently the most dangerous when he's eaten a bunch of gravel, but you can just knock him out of this state, which is indeed why I brought a friend along, but didn't realize until too late that he's too big for even two people to perform Heimlich maneuver on him, so now we're both just getting stomped. Long story short, this guy would do so much better if he had someone to roll him at high speeds like a bowling ball, but instead his faults consist of slowness, low damage output for lots of moves, and yes, it can be considered low damage output because I'm still using unupgraded Baggy and Arzuros armor. And lastly, he's affected by something I myself would know something about. Stupidity. You know, because he doesn't close distance, even when it would make the most sense to do so. Well, this Kappa Frog amphibious wrestler has fallen and somehow didn't part the world in two with an earth-shattering thud. We should consider ourselves... you know what? Him shattering the world was never really in the cards to begin with, so naturally we don't need to consider ourselves lucky if there was no chance of that happening in the first place, you know? And now, a line I didn't know where else to implement but here because there really wasn't anywhere for it. Roses are red, I look like a horse. I seem to have been faced with an exceptional amount of force.